a podcast about amazing people from an incredible state. Amazing Arizonans with Mike Broomhead.
All right, another edition of Amazing Arizonans, telling great stories, and someone that I met a few years ago and immediately admired. His name is Michael Zistatsis.
Yes.
How did I do? All right?
You did good.
Okay. Owner of Alexis and Christo's and Alexis Catering.
Yes, sir.
But I love your story. When I got to know you a little bit and you began to tell me your story, there's so much I want to ask you. I want to start with your beginning and where you came from and how you came to America. Can you start there?
Sure. I was born and raised in what Greeks like to call northern Epirus. Albanians call it southern Albania. I was born and raised there. Crossed over to mainland Greece in 91 and went to the island of Crete. I was there for a couple of years and emigrated to the States, to Phoenix, from Crete in December of 1992.
But you had to escape communism.
I did.
What was it like? Did you know you wanted? When did you know you wanted out? That you were going to do anything to get out?
Anybody that could crawl wanted to get out of there. For somebody that has studied socialism and communism and Marx and Engels and Lenin, it's everybody wants to get out of there somehow, and we found that chance and that opportunity when Albania started shaking after the passing of the dictator over there, Enver Hoxha, and we found a chance to move on, and we did. We came to Greece. My hometown is a few minutes walk from the Greek borders. All people in my village and the area around my village are all Greek ethnics, and we are a recognized minority by the Albanian state as Greek people. And a few years back, 2017, I did apply to become a Greek citizen. I became an American citizen in 2000. And the Greek government made me a Greek citizen of me and my kids as well. So
when you came to America, what were your goals? Was it just to get to America, or did you have a plan?
My family has been here since 1905. My great-grandfather came to the States in 1905, and he lived in Detroit until 1950-something. My grandfather came to the States in 1928, and my uncle left Albania in 1949, and the family paid the price for it. And me and my siblings, 7 of us at the same time, came to the States in December of 92. We came to Phoenix because our uncle was here, and we called this home ever since.
What I love about your hard work, you started in the restaurant business truly at the ground floor.
Yes, sir.
And you started working at these restaurants.
Yes, sir.
As a busboy?
Yes. I started working, my first job in the States was in the hamburger place, 35th Avenue in Thomas, and then 27th Avenue in Van Buren. That's the area I called home at that time. And I heard that Alexis was opening, and I went there early August of 94, and I started working there the first day Alexis opened, August the 8th of 1994.
So you started working on opening day of that restaurant?
Yes, and I was a busboy for many years. Until one night they needed a server, they gave me a couple of tables, and the rest is history.
Well, you became a server, but you worked hard enough that the owners promoted you and made
me a partner. Yes, for somebody like me that had the drive to do something of my own, I always treated that place as my own. And the owner, Christo Panagiotakopoulos, and his wife, Connie, saw that in me, and they made me their partner. And it's been a great partnership all these years. And a few years back, about 7 years ago, I also took over Christos. Been running that restaurant ever since, and we've been blessed with successful business ever since.
When people use, and I use this term a lot, the American dream, you, to me, are the example of what in one generation, one lifetime, you have gone from being an immigrant, working as a busboy at the very ground floor, to actually owning the restaurants that you worked in. Could you ever have imagined that in your life when you were younger?
Well, no. When I was younger, no. But I have a different perspective of the American dream that a lot of people don't agree with me, but that's my opinion. I believe that I remember the night that we flew from Greece to the States, and the captain of TWA airplane at that time said that now we're crossing to the U.S. waters, a few miles off the coast of New York. And I said, if this plane goes down, I'm a happy person. I'm dying in America. So for me, the dream of a lifetime was to come to America. Legally, of course, thank God, because my great-grandfather are here, and my uncle. And I saw that was my dream, to come here. Once we came here, me and my siblings, we didn't dream about anything, because in my opinion, America is about reality. Here you can have whatever you work for, whatever you thrive to have, as long as you follow the law, you do the right thing along the way. And that's what we did. We came here legally. We came here with a passion to work hard and do something, have a better life for ourselves and our offsprings. And I don't see as a dream as an uncatchable dream. This is reality. Here, nobody tells you not to drive to Tucson today or not to buy a bigger truck than one you have. It's work for it and do it. So I don't see the dream, but this is the greatest land ever known to man, and thank God we live here, and thank God we honor this country.
It is. It's not lost on me, because I love the restaurant business. I worked when I was much younger. I think I've shared with you, I would love to own a restaurant, but everybody I know that's in that business says it's treacherous and most don't survive. And so not only are you a successful businessman, but you own three businesses in an industry that is known for failure. And yet you've been able to be very successful for, 40 years?
30 years.
30 years.
Yeah. Well, that's restaurant business and every business. I truly believe that in anything we do in life, we got to have the blessing from God and the blessing from our parents. And the way to get that is by being good Christians in the eyes of God and good kids in the eyes of our parents. And I consider myself a blessed person, and I consider our family a blessed family for that reason. We are believers, and we work hard to do the right thing all the time, not sometime. So restaurant business is tough. We work with very flexible food costs and labor costs, and everything changes and can change very quickly. So what keeps us going is just that, is the hard work that we put in, leading by example, and believing that everything we do in life, yes, we work hard for it, but everything we do is in the hands of God, at least in my eyes. We think that we can control this, that, and the other, but we rarely can control a lot of things. But with God's blessing, everything goes well.
Alexis has become a very iconic restaurant in Arizona. How did that happen? How did it happen where it is a place where, some very prestigious people in Arizona are there regularly, and it's a very well-known spot?
So that's all the way Christo Panagiotakopoulos started that place was that. We give people a good product at a reasonable price and a really good service to have it all, to put it all together. Our goal is not to be fly by nights like a lot of places. You go there and 2-3 years they're not there no more. For a place to stay in business for 30 years, you got to have something that keeps people coming back. And what keeps people coming back to our place is our true self. So basically, things are not always the same. There is busier months and slower months. But the way we keep it going is by giving the same quality, the same quantity, and the same quality of service all the time. So you have a slow night, it's okay. You take care of your people. You have a busy night, you run a little harder, you take care of your people. And that's what keeps people coming back to us after all these years.
But it also, I think, from the longevity, whenever I've been in either restaurant, you are always in contact. And I should have told this earlier, but when I met you, it was when I was at Christo's, I met you, and I asked the girl at the bar, because I thought you were the manager, because of how hard you were working. She goes, "Oh, no, he's the owner." And I thought, wow, the owner, you were working as hard as anyone and interacting with the customers. Has that always been a part of how you've done business with because everybody seems to know you and you know everybody by name, it seems like.
That's part of our success. If you run the restaurant, in our business, people will figure out the phonies very quickly. We're not phonies. We are, like I said, true to our menu and true to our belief that quality on anything we do. And I truly believe that leading by example is the best way to do things, and that's what I do. I hired somebody today at Alexis, his name is David, and I told him that when you ask for help, in my eyes, doesn't make you a weaker person, makes you a person that cares for my restaurant. Why? Because you can always forget about a table, and if they walk out, they walked out. But when you ask for help and I jump there and help, we make our place better. And that's how we do it. I have great managers in both restaurants that we practice the same thing. We're there to help. We're there to make our place better. And our service and our crew sees that we are members of that crew as well. We're not just there to tell them what to do, but we do whatever needs to be done ourselves first.
One of the things I admire most as and I hope you're willing to talk about this, is your work in the community. That you travel around the state of Arizona, you do work for church groups, for your church, which I would love to talk about as well. But where does that come from, your dedication to community service? You were just telling me about loading a trailer load of equipment to take down to Florence. Can you talk about that?
Sure. It's my belief that the more you give, the more you have, instead of versus the more you keep, the more you have. And for me, it has worked. I help a lot of nonprofit organizations with their fundraising efforts and all that, because we are part of this community as well. We work with St. Vincent de Paul in South Phoenix to feed the hungry and the homeless. We do that 2 times a year. And there are about 400 people that we take care of 2 times a year. And also a lot of nonprofit organizations up and down Phoenix and or surrounding areas, that they rely on donations from restaurants and businesses to help the community. That's what they do. And I truly believe that it's a blessing to be able to give. When we go to St. Vincent de Paul to serve 400 people, how many people have a chance like that? Mm-hmm. To go there and cook for 400 people at the same time, serve 400 people. How many places have a chance like that? I do, and I don't take that lightly. I say, you know what, thank God that God gives me that opportunity to help. Because some people have money, but they cannot cook for 400 people. Mm-hmm. I pay for it, and I cook it myself. So, and I say, out of these 400 people, if 10 say, God bless whoever cooked our dinner tonight, it makes my day.
Yeah.
And I take great pleasure and satisfaction on helping people and seeing the happy faces and seeing the joy that brings to other people. And in our culture, when you help, God says you'll get it back multiple times. And this has happened to me. I can share stories all day long on what happens when you help and the phone rings and you book a catering for 200 people, and you get a big party at the restaurant or something. It's always the same. So you help and comes back to you.
How did you get connected with the monastery in southern Arizona? How did you get connected there?
I got connected through our churches. Here in Phoenix, we have 4 Greek Orthodox churches. And I went there and I told them that I'm in the restaurant business, or I can find things that they need. And that's how we started collecting things for St. Paisius Monastery in Safford, Arizona first, and now the sisterhood north of Tucson. And the more I can help, the more requests came my way. And that's how the game gets played, and that's how things move to the right direction, move towards helping people and building something that will be there for eons.
But you go down and you cook.
I go there and cook.
You told me you go to Congress and you pick up...
Safford.
No, but...
Or to pick up honey.
Pick up honey.
Yeah.
And then you take the honey...
to the monastery in Florence.
So then they bottle the honey.
They bottle the honey and they use it for their cooking and their diets, but they also bottle it.
And sell it.
And sell some of it, yes.
So that they can raise... And you do this... Not only do you do it at your own expense, but you actually go and load those things on the truck yourself.
Absolutely. We sometimes we load a whole barrel, about 600 and some pounds, and sometimes we get buckets of honey, 11 buckets a barrel, and we drive it to the monastery. I have people that help me along the way with money for the honey, and but overall, is the willingness to help that does it all, and God has blessed me with that willingness and way to do it.
So then you mentioned your church, your Greek Orthodox church. So the first thing people think of in Phoenix is that huge Greek festival that happens. And you are also very involved, and your family and your children involved.
Absolutely.
Can you talk, how long has that event been going on?
40 some years. It's a major fundraiser for our church, and also we showcase our traditions to the community, and we enforce our traditions to our kids. Our kids dance from young age until they go to their college age, and sometimes after that. And it's a bond that keeps the Greek community together, and the kids with other Greek kids in the community. And it's a beautiful thing for all involved. And we help the church all as volunteers for those 3 days, and before, of course, if needed.
I was going to say 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days is just the party itself. But it's a beautiful thing for a small community of Greeks like here in Arizona.
What does it mean to you to see your children carry on that tradition of the dancing and the Greek culture? Well,
it means the world to me and to every parent that is involved with that church and with that mission. Our kids have Greek last names and Greek names, so that they can change them, but I don't think they will. So they know they are different, but we raise our kids with our traditions and our customs, but we also raise our kids as proud Americans, and we raise our kids to praise God that they are born in this great country of ours, and to honor this country of ours, because they had everything because somebody gave us a chance to be here. And in our eyes, that's very, very important for them to be good human beings and to be good citizens. they need to vote. They need to partake in this experiment of ours. And so far, so good. We've been blessed with good kids.
So you have instilled in your children this spirit of giving, spirit of kindness. Who was it that instilled that in you? Where does that come from? Because, the best conversations I have with you are about these subjects. And I don't know if you notice it, but you smile the entire time you talk about the hard work. Who instilled that in you?
So the part of the part of southern Albania, or northern Greece, that we would like to call it, that I was born, the biggest benefactors of Greece were born there, and that's the poorest region of Greece. So we, as people of that area, were givers, I have taken my kids to the monasteries every time. Most of the times I go there to see how we do it, because this has to continue. And when God bless us with whatever we have to be able to share, they see it, and they see the happiness that giving brings to me, and hopefully we'll continue to do the same thing.
When you think about where you came from, and you said they were givers there, the sense of community and giving, but at the same time, you're a very independent person. You don't want to take from someone else. So how's that balance to be a giver, but at the same time maintain independence and not be dependent on someone else?
Well, we work hard. Sometimes I tell people, even if I worked with minimum wage, the hours I put in every day, I'll do well. We work hard, and because of that, we can afford to be able to give, and not only give here. We came from a small village back home that needs help, and we do that as well. Me and my brothers and a bunch of friends here from the States, we fix churches, we build water sources for our people that are still there, and our name is in a lot of places. But again, we do that to help, and we don't do that for much recognition, because if you do it for recognition, you do it for the wrong reasons. God sees who helps, and God sees who jumps in there, and that's the recognition we're looking for. And thank God we have it by being blessed with reasonably good businesses and a healthy life.
And I don't want to turn this political, but I do want to talk about your opinion on immigration, because we live in Arizona. It's a border state, and you are an immigrant to this country, a proud American. What is your opinion of what's happening and the system? What do you think needs to happen to this system from an immigrant's point of view?
Well, I was one of the lucky ones to be able to come here to fly in a plane. And to have paperwork from the first week that I got here in the States, and not have to worry about who's following me. Is a police cruiser behind me. A lot of people don't have that chance. These people that leave their countries, they leave to find a better tomorrow. In my opinion, they choose the wrong way to do it. But in the end of the day, not everybody that crosses the border is a bad person. They do it for economical reasons, and it's the wrong way to do it. Of course, there should be a legal way to bring people in that are willing to help and work, not help, work. And sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. And this infighting between the parties and who is right and who is wrong and who can do the biggest good and the biggest bad, it doesn't work. They got to find common ground to bring people that are willing to work as a workforce for businesses that need it, my business included.
Yeah, when I think about legal immigration, I've talked with you about, I have friends from Cuba who have a similar story to you. They came here with nothing. and they brought their children, and the children, they all became citizens, and now their grandchildren are first generation. But other than that, the stories are very similar. They came, they didn't speak English when they came here. They learned English very quickly and became successful enough where now they are retired. And for them, being an American matters so much because they're watching their children benefit from the fruits of their labor. So that's what I think about in immigration, is giving people an opportunity at success. And like you said, the American dream is whatever you want, that hard work can give you. But how do we balance the need to do it legally, but having a big door open so that people like you have that opportunity and you're not waiting 10 years for a visa to come into the country?
I truly believe that's above my pay grade to answer that question. But they need to find something, and I truly believe that solutions on every problem that we have as a country has to come from bipartisanship, and which lately hasn't been much help of anything. Everybody's pulling on their side, and nothing has been done to better our country. And I don't believe that opening the borders is a solution by any means. We need to know who's coming into our houses, and this is our house, this is our home. This has been my home since 1992. And but something has to give. They have to find a common ground to work together and bring qualified people and people that willing to take the jobs that they are offered, and not be afraid of their tomorrow as well.
So I know I'm bouncing around on topics, so I apologize. But when it comes to the Greek festival,
yes, sir,
and you're such a big part of that, do you enjoy sharing? Is it about sharing your culture with the community? Because I go every year. I love to see you. But it is watching people that have never been inside your church. But we all want to know, we're all interested in how happy everybody is in the culture. The dancing is amazing, and to see how happy everybody is.
Well, yes, it's a showcase of our community. We are proud of our heritage, and we try to share our traditions and our food and our dancing with the community, and make it fun along the way.
It is such a happy place.
Yeah.
Those 3 days, everybody is. It is a very happy, joyous. That's the best word. A joy event. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's fun for our visitors, but it's a lot of work for us. There's a lot of people that spend countless days and months planning that and putting the whole thing together. We are the executors few days before the event and the days of the event. But nevertheless, it's a community effort that brings everybody together, and to make it a fun 3-day weekend for a lot of people.
What is your favorite food to cook for someone? If you want to say to somebody, if you really want a taste of Greek food, what is it? What should we all try?
Well, the lamb that they make over there, they oven roast it for a few days, and marinated for days and roasted. The potatoes and the beans and the moussaka and pasticcio and the gyros that we cook there on the spot, and loukoumades, the Greek donuts, they are amazing. And yeah. Oh, you had them?
Yeah.
I remember. I always take a big pan for my peoples, for my co-workers at the restaurants. And there is something for everybody there. And of course, a Greek beer, it doesn't hurt. Greek beers are good beers.
The last time I was there, I remember you making sure that we didn't leave empty-handed.
Now you hydrated and full-handed. That's it. Yeah.
We definitely were. So,
our desserts, by the way, we have ladies of Philoftochos that they cook. They prep the desserts for a long, long time, and they sell them those days. And they do such a good job, and they try to pass the traditions from the older generation to the new generation, so we can keep the same thing going for the years to come.
Do you recognize the impact you have in the community with that? Because again, as an outsider, it's something every year you look forward to going to the Greek festival, and it has become an event that many people every single year say we're going.
They'll go, yes. I recognize the impact that we have, and we, like I said, we are. I talk to a lot of people, of course, in my business, and I had a Greek neighbor, I had a Greek friend, I had a Greek this and a Greek that. We are good people to be around and fun people to be around, especially if we have a couple beers in us. But that's who we are as people, and when people see us at the Greek church and our festivals, or people go to Greece, they come back with a lot of good memories, and from the people and from the sightseeing there and everything else in between.
Doing these podcasts, it has been so much fun for me to hear stories. And you and I, every time we talk, I could sit and talk with you for hours. I appreciate you sharing your story, but I think that it is exactly what everybody should see in the American dream. And then as someone, as you said, you're an example of being a giver. In my opinion, you are what everybody should strive to be. You give and give and give. And I wanted people to hear it. I appreciate you. I know you don't like talking about yourself, but I appreciate you doing this because I think it's important for people to hear your example.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate you inviting me. I truly believe that even people that have little can give little, but everybody should give something. And if we all give, this community can be much better. There's a lot of people in need for a case of water, for a turkey once in a while, for something, for a meal. I've told my managers and my employees at both restaurants, never turn anybody away hungry from these restaurants. We're not going to go out of business because we gave a dinner here and there to somebody that needs one. God will bless us with more, and that's the way we run. I run my business and my life by helping, and if we help and don't brag about it, but we share our experiences for other people to follow and do the same thing, that's the right reason for helping and saying something about it. I have asked the elders at the monastery, should I talk about this or not? And they say, look, if you talk for the right reasons, yes, you can talk about it, but not to brag about anything.
Right.
And I like to give and walk away instead of give and say, hey, look at me, I gave something. It doesn't work. But again, helping for the right reasons, that's all.
When the president, Derek Hall is the president of the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he was here doing the podcast. And one time in my studio, and I made him tell the story again, but he was working as a very young member of the Dodgers organization and not making a whole lot of money. He was spring training. And the owner of the Dodgers came up to him, and they were having an internal fundraiser in the company. And the owner of the Dodgers said to him, I noticed you haven't given anything. And he said, well, you, no offense, but you don't pay me a whole lot. And the owner of the Dodgers said to him, well, then don't give a lot. Just like you just said. And he learned that lesson then, that you can always do something. And that has grown with him now. He's very successful, the president of an organization, and now gives to that level. But he learned the lesson when he didn't have a whole lot to give.
Yeah. Every bit helps. Every bit helps. I rarely turn away empty-handed solicitation for a fundraiser from a company. And it's not that I believe on everything they do, but I believe in helping, and that does it for me at least.
I appreciate the time today. And I know you're uncomfortable talking about yourself, but I love the stories, and I can't wait to see you at one of the restaurants again.
I'll be happy to have you any day, Mike.
All right, listen, Alexis, Christos, Alexis Catering, they do everything very, very well, and they do it for the right reasons. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir.